So how's it going, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since we've actually made content regarding some deck profile for Master Duel. This in relation to the new archetypes that has been released last 11th of November for Master Duel. So what I'm going to showcase today is Scareclaw, and this is basically a link-based deck that focuses on monsters or the boss monster in the extra monster zone. Now, what does this deck accomplish? Well, this is basically a good pair with the Tri-Brigades, but problem with my deck is there is some cards missing, mainly Rescue Cat, and I don't have a copy of that monster, let alone 3 copies at best. So what I was thinking is just why not just use Scareclaw as its purest form, which is mainly their monsters and their linked monsters. So it's not that much you'll have for the Scareclaw archetype. There is only 4 effect monsters, that being one searcher and then a couple of effect monsters that supports the extra deck boss monster. So that is basically it. So the best tactic for this deck is going second, and it's pretty good going second. So first and foremost, we are going towards 2 effect Veilers, 3 Maxis, 3 Ash Blossoms, 3 Astra. So what this monster does, it can allow your extra deck monster to attack a couple of times depending on the different names of Scareclaw monsters that are on the field. And I think this needs to be in defense position. Yes, it needs to be in defense position to prompt its effect. Then we have 3 copies of Balloon. Balloon is it has its effect for piercing damage. It's pretty good. And then we have Acro, which allows your extra deck monster to increase its attack by 300 for each defense position monster you control. So that's pretty wild. And lastly, we have the Scareclaw Reichhardt. Allows you to search and add 1 Scareclaw spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So that's basically all the Scareclaw monsters there is. 3 of each is, or max it out to 3 at best. Then we have 1 copy of Visa Starfrost. Just having 1 copy is pretty good, and of course you don't focus mostly with synchro monsters, so just having 1 copy is okay. Then you move towards Parallel Exceed. So this card is pretty good even during the Link Festival. As much as possible, having 3 copies gives you a tendency to draw this on your first turn, and then you move towards Baguska afterwards, or even if you're going for an OTK, this can go towards another copy of Tryhard later on. And lastly, 1 copy of Nibiru. Now, I had some mixed feelings of having 2 Nibirus and then 2 copies of Parallel Exceed, but having Parallel Exceed is much more beneficial for the deck or the gameplay for this deck. So just having 1 copy of Nibiru is okay. Then moving towards your spell and traps, you have 1 Regeki, 1 Rhoda, 1 Lightning Storm, 1 Scareclaw Arrival. It's basically a monster reborn. And then your field spell, which is the primitive planet Reichophobia. So this allows you to search out a Scareclaw monster from your deck to your hand. And of course, if there are 3 or more defense position monsters on the field, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it. So it's pretty good. It benefits overall with the Scareclaw archetype. Then we have your 2 copies of Cold Grave, 2 copies of Forbidden Droplet, 1 copy of Scarlet Straddle. Now this is kind of like Cubic Wave, but it's really like Cubic Wave. The main target for this is your Scareclaw Tryhard, and it really wins you game as much as its effect goes. Then you have 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence, and lastly 1 copy of Scareclaw Splash. So that's basically your main deck right there. Your extra deck, we move towards Karakuri Super Shogun. This card is really good with the Scareclaw. So once a face-up Karakuri monster changes its position, you can banish 1 card on field. So it's pretty good. And then lastly, you have your Baron the Floor. But I don't really use this at much or at best because we are moving towards, or we are using most of the time. You can use it from time to time, but yeah, sometimes Baguska's on the field, so your Baron the Floor will cease to exist. Then we have 1 copy of Baguska, 1 Zeus, 1 Almirage, 2 copies of Scareclaw Lightheart, Now, like I said, the Scareclaw archetype revolves around a couple of UR cards, which mainly is your boss monsters and a couple of important cards for your searching. So I only got 2 copies of Lightheart and 2 copies of Tryheart. So revolving around that is just working my way with regards to the materials I have. So just 2 copies, and then if you have 3, then much better. It's pretty good actually to have 3 copies of each Link monster. Then you have 1 copy of Phoenix, 1 the Dark Charmer, and 1 Unicorn, 2 Scareclaw Tryheart, 1 Appaloosa, 1 Tri-Brigade Shoreg. And this one is pretty good for the deck since most of your Scareclaw monsters are beast type monsters. And lastly, your Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Now, this monster is pretty neat. It's easy to go beyond 3 Link summoning. So once you have the 4th monster on your field, it's basically using your opponent's monster for a Link summon is pretty good. So that is your main deck and your extra deck, guys. Let's move towards the replays and enjoy. So that is the game replays, and hope you enjoy this kind of content. Please like and subscribe and see for more details in the near future for more videos. And yeah, hopefully this anti-spell festival will be good. Anyway, so that's it for today. Goodbye, guys.